Evan.
That's I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully. But disrespectfully is disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans. Poor little girl, them. And I'ma tell them why I'm mad. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. The other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset. Good evening, good people. It is I, the Maize Madman. We are back. Special edition of Eminem Monday starting at 8 p.m. tonight. Let me introduce my guys. It wouldn't be Eminem Mondays without this guy.
The Maniac.
Of course, and below.
Kinetic.
Kinetic.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. My guy Ronald Embry, go blue, of course. Kinetic is in there. Go blue. And there's the link to his GoFundMe. Be sure to check that out when you get a chance. If you get a chance, be sure to do that. Lich Max is here. Of course he is. Shout out to Lich Max. But today, ladies and gentlemen, very, very exciting show as we welcome Michigan commit 4-star interior offensive lineman Bear McWhoter to the show. And honestly, without any further ado, actually we got a special intro for Bear. We're testing this out for the first time tonight. Here we go.
You are 18 wheeler looking at a deer. Hey boo boo, you're looking at a bear.
Welcome,
Hey.
Bear McWhoter. Bear, how you feeling, sir?
Feeling great. Appreciate y'all having me on.
No, we appreciate you, man. Let's get right into it. All right. It looked like during this recruitment, obviously, there was a crystal ball even for a certain university that Michigan has beaten twice in this calendar year. No disrespect, of course, respectfully. There was, of course, your namesake, which we'll get to in a second. I was following this recruitment pretty closely because I follow recruiting. I know other people were as well. We were having some discussions, and it looked like we might be, on the losing end here. And then in the 25th hour, something happened, ladies and gentlemen. And whatever that something was, it got Bear McWhoter in A2, and we are happy about it. Bear, talk to us a little bit about how that final kind of week or days, hours leading to the recruitment were.
I mean, it was very crazy. I think my phone rang nonstop that whole week, and I kind of knew it was Michigan for a good while. Like I would say, after my January visit, I kind of had a feeling that this is where I'd end up, and then February, just sitting down with my family, talking about it, praying about it. Like the more I thought about it, I just knew Michigan was where I was supposed to be. So the last couple of weeks and stuff, it was crazy amount of phone calls and texts and everything from different schools, but I listened to all of them and talked to them, and I still have a ton of respect for those guys, but I just knew Michigan was where I was supposed to be at.
When you when you were getting up to that to your commitment, and it sounds like you kind of knew, you said it for a little bit before that. How hard was it to keep that under wraps? Like with people, were people bugging you, wanting to get the inside intel on it? How many people did you actually tell or knew where you were going to commit leading up to that?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty tough. I told my mom and dad were the first people I told, probably about a week before my actual announcement. And then ended up telling like my grandparents probably a couple of days before, and then called all the coaches 2 days and then the day before, and then I ended up telling Alabama and Michigan the day of where I was going. And so other than that, I don't really think there was anybody else that really knew. Like I did my best to keep it a secret because I knew it was going to be a really big shock whenever I did pick up Michigan's hat. But there was a ton of questions and stuff, and I would just tell people that I wasn't quite sure yet. But it was fun
Yeah.
though.
Did you have any crazy
Yeah.
reactions afterwards? Like
Not
immediate
really.
reactions?
The little theater auditorium room I went in, everyone went kind of crazy. And then obviously I'm sure people were going crazy on social media and stuff just because everyone knew I was going to Bama, but it wasn't anything like that I saw, or at least that was too crazy.
So Bear, exactly right. The obvious choice for you was Alabama. Everyone thought you was leaning towards the Crimson Tide, which, as we know, greatest dynasty in college football. But what was it exactly? Because I know that must have been playing with your mind at night, like, damn, Michigan, Alabama. But what was it that Michigan had the edge over Alabama that made you say, you know what, I'm going blue?
Yeah, I mean, it was really tough. And like you said, I went back and forth on it for a long time. But I think when I sat down and looked at it and just looked at everything and took out like the childhood dream part and just looked at like my relationships with players, coaches, support staff, and just like where I wanted to be at in general, um, it was pretty much all Michigan. And I had to really think about that and take everything into account. But at the end of the day, I just knew Michigan was where I was supposed to be at.
So what was it like? Because you've touched on it a little bit. And I'm sure it's been mentioned every time. I think I've heard you brought up for weeks now. With you being named after Bear Bryant, it was almost like an expectation, like a foregone conclusion that people just expected you to go to Alabama. So like, what was that like? Because that's something that's unique that I don't think a lot of prospects go through with the recruitment, where they're just automatically assumed that they're going to be going somewhere because of something like that. How did that affect you? Did it affect how you viewed Alabama or the other schools that were recruiting you?
I wouldn't say it affected me too much until the very end. Like, Alabama, they weren't really recruiting me that much earlier on in my process. But it's probably around midway through my junior season, they started ramping things up. And then we got to the point in January where I got it down to that top 5 or 6 group. And by then, that's when like the pressure was really on. And I was looking at everything and I was like, well, I really like Michigan. I want to go to Michigan, but also like Bama's where I'm supposed to be at. My whole family's Bama fans. I grew up rooting for Bama. So that's really when it got tough. But I would say like just early on and going through the process.
No doubt. Bear, okay. I like the fact you brought up that you've been rooting for Bama your whole life. Everybody's Bama fans. Tell us, Rose Bowl 2024, Pasadena. Who were you rooting for that day? Be honest.
Oh, I was Bama. I
All
really
right.
didn't until probably like spring of my sophomore year. I didn't get offered until the summer going into my junior year. And so like, I'd been to Michigan once it was in my freshman year, but other than that, I didn't really have anything to do with them. So I was still Bama at that time.
So how did that change going into round 2 at the ReliaQuest Bowl this year?
It was a little more 50-50 because I would say like by then it was like Bama and Michigan were my 1 and 2. And so I was still like, I wanted Bama to win because of that's just who I've grown up rooting for and everything. But at the same time, I was like, I'd like to see Michigan pull it out and get the back-to-back wins over Bama and just see the underdog win. So it was
no. Yeah, good, man. And we respect your honesty, man. You're keeping it real, right? And
100%.
so one thing is for certain, I know you've seen Michigan has been doing phenomenal on the O-line recruiting. So that tells me you're not shying away from competition, which is great. Because once you enroll at the University of Michigan, there's going to be dogs all around you. How are you preparing mentally for that, knowing that every day at practice, you must bring your A game in order for you to get playing time or even become a starter early in your career?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just kind of how I was raised. Like, I grew up always playing a year older than I was supposed to for football. So I've always been the youngest kid on the field. And that's kind of just forced like a competitive edge out of me because I just got to work that much harder to keep up with the older guys that obviously had the advantage over me. So I think nothing's changed. Like, I want to go to a place where we can win a national championship and win the Joe Moore Award. So I think going into a place that's done as well of a job as Michigan has recruiting offensive linemen, it's perfect for me because I know I'm going to go in and compete no matter who's there. But at the same time, we got a great group of guys that's going to make things happen.
So, out of curiosity, can you touch on some of the things that really influenced you with your recruitment with Michigan? So, of course, we've got Sharon Moore, who played offensive line, coached offensive line, and we've got the Joe Moore award-winning lines of the past and some of the guys that are there. But then there's also the on-the-field product and what you see when you tune in and look at Michigan as a team, or when you visit Ann Arbor. Can you tell us some of the things in all of that were like the most impactful to you on your recruitment?
Yeah, I would say like what initially attracted me to Michigan was their style of offensive line play. Like before they were even able to reach out, or they weren't even recruiting me really, I went up there my freshman year, and it was the year they just won the Joe Moore Award. And Coach Moore was doing really big things. And that's a program that I've been watching. I was like, I want to be a part of that. And so that's just kind of what's kept me around. And that's still the reason I went back and visited in the end of July when they finally offered me. It's just because I was so attracted to the way that like their mentality is and the way they play offensive line and everything. But I would say then diving deeper and getting to learn more about them, like internally, and getting to see them lift as a team and see the culture and talk to all the guys, like that's what made me realize they can do all this on the field, but also like when it's just me and the guys working out together, hanging out, like this is what it's going to be like. It was just like the perfect mixture.
Absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about give a visual for the people who don't, haven't gotten the opportunity to check out Michigan's weight room even, right? That Joe Moore Award is massive, by the way. It's one of the most impressive trophies I've ever seen.
Yes.
How was that, seeing that trophy in that weight room for the first time?
Oh, it was crazy. Just growing up a huge college football fan and as an offensive lineman, like it's the biggest weight room I've seen and the biggest trophy I've ever seen. And they had the trophy set up like right in front of the weight room. So that's the first thing you see when you walk in. And then behind it, you just got this ginormous weight room. It's like an offensive lineman's dream pretty much.
Right. No doubt.
So what would you say, Bear, as a player? What are your strengths and weaknesses as a player?
I would say the biggest thing for me is my effort. I think if you turn on my film and you pick out a random play, it's going to look the same no matter what play and game you pull up, just because I'm blocked through the whistle every play and give it all that I have. And there's other things. I've been training with the same guys since 8th grade, and I think technically I've improved a lot, and there's definitely some other things I need to get better at. I think I could always clean up my hands and my feet and everything and just the little details, but I feel like overall I'm pretty well rounded, but the biggest thing that stands out is my effort.
Absolutely.
So
Nice.
So a couple weeks ago, we had another offensive line target, Zayden Krempin, on here, and I want to ask you the same question we asked him. We asked asked him what drew you to offensive line. What is it that you love about playing the offensive line? The answer he gave was something along the lines, I don't remember the exact words, but being able to put guys in the dirt and it's legal. They can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? What do you love about playing on the offensive line, and what drew you to that when to play that position?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say anything drew me to play. I was kind of forced to, just being a bigger kid growing up. And my dad played offensive line all the way through college. But then like just playing offensive line my whole life, and the feeling of just moving somebody against their will, like it's a different type of feeling. Like it's the most fun thing I've ever done, and just getting to like take somebody and bury them or take them where the last place that they want to go. Like it's a crazy fun feeling.
No doubt. Coming to Michigan, you're gonna have an opportunity, obviously, to compete. We spoke about that a little bit, but the number one player in the class before you, right, is a quarterback that committed to Michigan, Bryce Underwood. Have you gotten a chance to talk to him or any of the other quarterbacks during any of your trips or conversations, text messages, whatever? And what is it? What kind of pride do you take in keeping your quarterback clean and that sort of thing?
I got to meet Bryce when I went up in January, just for a quick second in the weight room, but it was good. You can tell he's got a great head on his shoulders. He's super humble, and I think he's going to do really great things up in Ann Arbor. But I mean, that's one of the most important things as offensive lineman. Like for me, for specifically, it hits close to home because my cousin's been my quarterback since I've been 4 years old. So just protecting him, like that's always been the number one priority, playing offensive line, and so it's definitely something I take a lot of pride in.
What if you had to choose, what do you enjoy more? What gives you more satisfaction? Run protection, pass protection?
Run blocking, easy.
Okay.
I like pass pro, but run blocking is different.
Can you give us a reason why for some people that out there maybe that haven't played? What is it that is the difference between the two for you?
See, I think like run blocking, the most fun thing you can do is take someone like 20 yards down the field. It's not allowed when you pass block. You got to stay behind line of scrimmage and be smart about it. Yeah. I like just taking someone and taking them straight back.
No doubt.
And if you guys get some time, go check out his film. What we're pulling up here. You see that all over the film. Like it's nuts.
Yeah, this is impressive stuff here. I did I don't know if you got a chance to check out any of the stuff on the channel, but I did a commitment video. When you committed, I made a video, and I was talking about this blocking, how impressive it was. I don't know who your running back is. But some of these, like some of his visuals, questionable. But you were absolutely doing your job. No disrespect to whoever that guy is either. We wish him all the best. And right there, he broke free.
Yes,
but let's talk about running backs. You love run blocking. Most offensive linemen do. There are a couple guys projected in Michigan's backfield this year. Now, granted, you won't be there this year, but that are pretty good, right? A young true sophomore coming into this year, and Jordan Marshall, Alabama transfer, and Justice Haynes. What do you think about Michigan's run game? Period. You've obviously watched it over the years, and what do you think those guys can do this upcoming season?
Yeah, I mean, I think the run game is always going to be solid at Michigan. I would say that's probably the biggest strength as a program. But yeah, I mean, having a good running back is huge for two reasons, I think. Just because, one, offensive line makes the most perfect hole. You couldn't ask for anything better. And you don't have a running back that sees that and he bounces out somewhere else and gets tackled for a loss. Like, that's probably the most frustrating feeling as offensive lineman, just because you did your job. And then the running back messes up, and then people are going to start blaming you for it. But I would say that. And then also, like, when you get beat and then the running back does some crazy move and makes the guy you're supposed to be blocking miss, like, it's very valuable to have that, just because, like, he can always make you right depending on the situation.
How do you describe your playing style? Like, if you were talking to someone that's never seen you before, seen you play, how would you describe your playing style to that person?
I would say physical. I would say nasty. And I would just say I finish every play. Yeah,
as per the film, you're spot on, yes, without a doubt. No, but Bear as well, right? When you're doing well, when you open in holes, everybody loves you, everybody's messaging you. But we in the social media era now. And now let's say you're not playing well. You're giving up sacks. You're not opening holes for your running back. You know what happens next, right? Mm-hmm. You start to get criticized. Fans could be harsh. Every fan base, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. How would you take criticism from fans and the coaches if you find yourself in a spot where you're not playing well or not playing to your potential and you're being criticized? How are you gonna get yourself back to playing at an elite level?
I mean, I would say coaches, I'm gonna listen to everything they tell me. And whatever they tell me I need to work on and get better at, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And as far as fans, like I don't really read any of the fan stuff. And when I do it, it just never has bothered me at all. Just because I know
Good.
most people typing out stuff have no idea what they're talking about, and some
That's
of
a
them have
fact.
never even played a snap of football in their life. So, I mean, I see it
Yeah.
sometimes, but it doesn't bother me. I think it bothers my dad a lot more.
I can
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah.
He'll bring it up and be like, "You see what they said? This is unreal." And I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And you're gonna get that a lot, right? I'm talking about
Yeah.
every player. It doesn't matter who you are. So I know I'm a parent myself. So yeah, I will feel a certain way if someone is talking bad about my child. But I'm glad that you got that right mentality, Bear, when it comes to that, because football is about ups and downs, right? And
Yes, sir.
of course, you're going into college. You're gonna go play at an elite level, so you might have moments where you're gonna struggle here and there. But I'm pretty sure any struggles you have are gonna be short lived. We're
Mhm.
gonna see more good than bad. I'm pretty sure about it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
No doubt.
How much during your recruitment did they bring up or sort of give you any kind of introduction into like the rivalries that we have with like Michigan State, Ohio State, the intensity of it? I mean, you look at just in recent history, and it seems like both those teams have trouble when have a hard time losing with grace. There's always seems to be some kind of scuffle or issue afterwards. Like Colston Loveland said it last year, little bro stay doing little bro things. So like,
Mhm.
how much of that was brought up to you in recruitment, and now that you've committed, what are your thoughts on that? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, something they actually talked about a ton. And they just made it like such a big deal about the Michigan State game, especially just because talking about like growing up in Michigan, you're either a Michigan or Michigan State fan. So, you drop whoever loses that game has to hear about it for a whole year. They said the Ohio State game is obviously very important and you can't lose that game and still have a successful season. But they more stress the importance of that Michigan State game than anything. But it's something that I take a lot of pride in just because we've got some really good rivalries down here in Georgia at the high school level. And that's just something I take a ton of pride in. Like, I never want to lose those games.
Absolutely. We got a question from our guy, Dom, the Dom father. He says, given your deep Alabama roots, how much did the desire to burn your own path play into your choice?
I definitely played in a little bit. And it's something that I thought of, like, just moving and playing in a different part of the country, like going and living in the Midwest. Like, it's going to be a lot different, but it's something that I kind of do want to go experience and just see what it's like for a few years.
Absolutely. We've got another question, this time from somebody in a video that we did earlier today. They knew you were coming on, mostly
Okay.
because I was kept saying you were going to be on, but but I don't know if you can see that. This is from Michael Correct. He says, being a Michigan fan most of my life, I've always dreamed of playing for Michigan, dreamed of running through the tunnel, hitting the field, jumping up, hitting that banner in front of the 100,000 plus would be a dream come true. What is the thing you look forward to most playing for Michigan?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is winning the national championship. That's my goal, and I think
I like it.
anything less than that will be a failure. So I think like getting to get ready in that old locker room and come down the tunnel and hit the banner, like all that's going to be surreal. And just being on the field in that uniform and everything is going to be surreal. But I think the biggest thing will be when I win that national championship. That's when I'll feel accomplished.
No doubt, man. I like that answer a lot, actually. Bear, let's get into this thing, man. You are not only a football player, you're so much more than that. Right? You talk a little bit about your history. You have a nonprofit, Brother Bear Foundation, and I believe it's to help find families for adopted children, or to help families who want to adopt,
Yes, sir.
get the funding and stuff like that. Let's talk a little bit about that, man, and what that means to you.
Yeah, it's something that's super important to me. I've got one biological sister, she's older than me, and then my two younger sisters are both adopted. We fostered them for a little while and ended up adopting them. And it's something that me and my family have talked about a lot, just as we started taking football more serious and I've started to build a little bit of a platform for myself, I just want to do a ton of good with it. And something that's really important to me is adoption. And so I've gotten blessed with a few NIL deals just here locally, and took some of that money and opened up this nonprofit. And now it's open for donations, and we sell T-shirts that all the profit from those goes straight to the foundation, and it's just for families that want to adopt but might not have the funds to, or just need some help financially. So they can come to us, and we'll be able to help them out through the foundation. And that's another reason, is just make more people aware of it. Like, they see all the stuff I'm doing, and maybe then that leads to a calling to them to go foster or adopt. And I just think it's something that not enough people know about, and it's super important.
What was that? Where can they find that at again?
It's brotherbear.foundation is, if you just look it up.
Right there. We put it on it's on the banner there for anybody who wants to check that out. Be sure to check that out. Bear, this is a great cause, man. I love things like this.
Yes.
Somebody's so young, and me and the guys, right, we talk about this a lot. At short age, this sort of thing right here was the furthest thing from my mind. You know what I mean? It shows the maturity that you have. I was super immature at that age, doing doing kid things, but it's still no excuse. I think this is so frontward facing, so progressive, and not in the sense of political progressive. I don't want anybody to take anything crazy, but so forward thinking. And I like this, man. It's not just thinking about yourself, it's thinking about other people and trying to help people in not the best situation. So I like it.
Thank you.
No, absolutely. Yeah, Bear, man. That's so unselfish of you, man. God bless you, man. Honestly, for you, you got everything going for you, and you didn't have to do something like this, but you did, man. You have a great heart, man, and trust me, we're gonna support the cause as well. Because it's funny that my wife's, she has a little brother and sister who were adopted too at a young age, and they adults now. So I know how it is, and they really, man, to be adopted by a loving family is a great thing, man. So you're doing a phenomenal thing, man. Big again, man. We're here to support you, champ.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
No doubt. Shout out to Troy. He says, Bear, I'm so impressed with your nonprofit organization. It's a form of ministry, in my opinion, helping kids find loving families is the Lord's work.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Troy for that.
So Bear, I got a question here. So I always ask this when we have potential commitments, prospects on, and now we've got you on here. I'm going to ask you the same thing. Now that you're committed to Michigan, this is going to be a little bit of a two-part version of it.
Okay.
Now that you're committed, how much of a role of trying to recruit to help fill out the class have you taken on? And if you had a magic wand to bring any other commit that to Michigan right now, who would you choose? Who would you bring to Michigan right now if you had that choice?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like just being the recruiter, I'm trying to be the top recruiter in the class, and I had Coach Newsom the other day send me all his top guys, and so I've been texting them and reaching out to them since that. But if I just choose just one, that's tough.
One guy to bring with you to Michigan.
You're putting me on the spot. I mean, like Jackson Cantwell is one that I've been texting a lot. Definitely trying to get him.
Okay.
Darius Gray's another one. That's my guy. I've gotten to know him really well just through the process, and I'd love to get him up to Ann Arbor. But I mean, there's a ton of them. I think Newsom sent me like 9 or 10 guys that I've been reaching out to. And I would love to get any of those guys.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about before we get you out of a couple. We'll go one more round around. Talk to us a little bit about what are your goals once you get to Michigan, individually and team goals at the University of Michigan?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is win a national championship. I think anything less than that's a failure and a disappointment. Another huge goal is the Joe Moore Award. Just ever since I've seen that trophy, like that's just something that I've always wanted to win in college.
Right.
And then obviously just want to do great things with the team, but eventually get drafted and go to the NFL. That's my biggest individual goal, is just continue out my playing career and be as great as I possibly can be.
No doubt.
So I guess just one more recruiting question. I know you keep bringing up Coach Newsom, so he was obviously a big part of your recruitment.
Yes,
But this is just something I'm curious about. Did either or Coach Sharon Moore or Coach Tress, did either of them have a part in your recruitment, and what kind of part did they play? You know, we don't hear a lot about Coach Tress outside of the program, so I'm curious about that. But then also with Coach Moore having been so tied in and tapped in with the offensive line, how much of is he still part of that recruitment process for you?
Both of them were huge parts. I spent a lot of time talking to Coach Moore just from my past few visits, and he's someone that I've gotten to know pretty well, and I would love to have him as a coach. And also just talking to other players about him, like he's just a guy that he's easy to talk to. You can go in his office at any time and just strike up a conversation with him, or go to him if you need anything. He's just a super genuine guy. And then Coach Tress, that's another huge reason I was even attracted to Michigan, is just because seeing all the great stuff they do in the weight room. And I sat down and had a meeting with Coach Tress, and he showed me everything they do with their guys and all the testing when they first come in. And all of it's just super detailed, and it's super important to me.
Yes, nice. So, Bear, just like they mentioned, right? They ask, who are you recruiting? The question is Alabama and other schools still recruiting you, although you're committed to Michigan?
Yeah, I mean, they're still reaching out here and there. Like as of right now, I'm not taking any more visits. I'm locked in with Michigan, but they are definitely still reaching out and recruiting me and stuff.
No doubt. We got one more question. This one came from YouTube as well. And after this one, we'll get you out of here. Let me see if I can share it, because sometimes these things work, sometimes they don't. Here we go. All right, and this one is from Lou. He's got a bunch of letters and numbers after Lou, but we're just gonna call him Lou. He says, ask Bear if he's ready to be a road grader at U of M, and if he likes the reference Dan Campbell uses of a dirt bag of a player. What? It would be awesome if U of M uses that chip on the. Oh, okay. So that's a basketball thing. But that first part is for you. Are you ready to be a road grader?
100%. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm super excited. That's my favorite part of playing football. And then the dirtbag reference, I love it. What Coach Moore refers to his favorite offense lineman as pricks. He says the best way to play offense line is to be a prick. So I love these type of references. And it sounds bad, but it's the right way to play offensive line.
Yeah, no doubt, man. One more time this is going to be the Bear outro as well. It's a Bear intro. Bear.
You are 18 with him, looking at a deer. Hey, boo boo, you're looking at a bear.
I want to see. I want to see a live reenactment of that scene in the Michigan Ohio State game.
Yes,
that's gonna happen to Julian saying. No,
exactly.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Bear McWhoter. Bear, tell the people where they can find you. Let's run up his social media and all of that. Go ahead.
Yeah, Twitter is the exact same as it is on the screen right there. Bear McWhoter, no spaces or anything. And Instagram is the same, but the O in McWhorter is an X.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Bear, we appreciate you, man.
I love that too, actually.
That's dope.
My account got hacked. It used to be just Bear McWhorter, and then it got hacked. I had to make a new one, so I just switched it up.
We see what you're doing there, Bear. I like it. We like it a lot.
I just want to thank you for coming on, man. It was a blessing having you here, and you're always welcome back. You're a Michigan Wolverine, but now you're a friend of the show here. Reach out anytime if there's anything we can do, or even if you got something that you want promoted, reach out. We'll share it and make sure we promote it here on the show and on our socials as well, man.
Yeah, sounds good. I appreciate it.
No doubt,
man.
We appreciate
and Bear,
go blue. Oh,
yeah. One last thing, Bear. I'm sorry. we during the season we do watch parties. I know you're still be in football mode, but if there's a Saturday that you could join us, man, we'll appreciate it. Even if you come on for 5-10 minutes, we're not saying for the entirety the whole game, man. We just trying to implement something new to our watch party. So if we can have you for one of them for a Michigan game, even if it's for a quarter or a series, we'll appreciate it.
Sounds good.
No doubt,
All
Bear.
right.
We appreciate you, sir.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Yes, sir.
Take it
All
easy,
right.
man. Go blue.
Bear McWhoter, ladies and gentlemen. There we go.
Y'all go check him out. Check out his video, his footage. Also, something I didn't get to bring up to him, but he's I heard that he's pretty close and tight with another guy we had on a while back, Brett Colajay. So hopefully us having Bear out here helps us with that recruitment to get Breck here.
By the way, Breck's an absolute animal.
Yeah.
So is Jake. I'm not even going to take Jake's last name.
Krell.
But Jake's an animal as well. Shout out to Cliff Hill, who represents those guys. Speaking of Cliff, we got some things coming up. We'll keep you posted on that. Keep your ear to the ground for that. Gentlemen, we move on. Wink Martindale has some interesting things to say today. Not sure if you got to see it.
Yes. I loved it. It
was awesome.
I loved it as well. What did you think of that? By the way, if anybody in the chat doesn't know what we're talking about, Wink Martindale said he ribs, McDonald and Jesse Minter a little bit about him holding the other state to 10 points and them not being able to do that. But guys, what you think of it?
No, I love it,
great.
man.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Kinetic.
All right.
No, go ahead.
I was saying I think it's great because it shows that like these guys still talk all the time. They're still exchanging ideas, and it's showing that Mike McDonald, Jesse Minter, they were here for only a short time, and now they've moved on to the NFL, but they're still tapped into what we're doing here at Michigan. And if and if you think that they're not exchanging ideas and things that they see and helping each other break down, strategies and film and everything, you're crazy. These guys are very close, and to be on that level where you're teasing each other about what you were able to hold opponents that you've all faced. It speaks to the camaraderie, not just in the team, but in the coaching staff and in the people that have been here even after they moved on. And I absolutely love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you mentioned, Kinetic, it's still a close knit. They still got a good relationship, and that's beautiful. And they learned under Don. And the one thing they all have in common is that they're undefeated against Ohio State. That's the best stat of all. They all undefeated. So they can't come here and be like, well, Jesse Minter didn't beat. Yeah, he beat you twice. Mike McDonald beat you. Don, Wink beat you. So hopefully Wink continues to do that, man. So I'm excited to see how this defense looks this year. And I think it's going to be a dominating defense, guys. As long as the guys are healthy, I think Michigan's defense, without a doubt, is going to be a top 5 defense in the nation.
No doubt. People from Detroit, anybody from Detroit, let us know in the chat. Or even if you're not from Detroit, but you got some knowledge of Detroit and Detroit eateries and things like that. Me and the Maniac are going to be in the state of Michigan, specifically in Detroit, a day earlier than everybody else. And we looking for some good places to go to get something to eat. Some good sites to, do some film work, whatever. Let us know where we should go in the chat. I know I used to visit Detroit every summer. I got family there and stuff like that, but it's different when you go at, visiting family. They don't really take you to the spot. They take you to the little mom and pop spot up the street. And by the way, good food and stuff like that, but it's different, than being a tourist, if you will, which we will more than likely be out here. West Quad says Coney Island, Lafayette. Man, I've been to Coney.
You know, I've never been there.
You never been to Coney Island? You're a Michigander. Never been to Coney Island.
I mean, I moved away when I was 10, and I just recently came back a couple years ago. And the times I've been down to Detroit, it's all usually been on business. So like I didn't have time to go find it. But I've heard about it my whole life, and I've never been.
No doubt. Go get some pics by the Fist in the GM building. Okay, yeah, the Fist, no doubt. Anybody who is familiar with the sneaker game and stuff like that, let me know. Is Burn Rubber still in Detroit? Let's talk about it. But moving on, guys. Kinetic, what are you? I guess next week what we'll do is do some roster breakdown.
Sure.
What we think, some depth chart stuff. Maybe we should do a position, do a couple positions next week. We'll do a couple positions that way. But what position are you most, let me say, confident in? And then what position do you have the most questions about? Let's do that. Chat
for the 25 season
for this upcoming season. Yeah.
We doing full team or just one side of the ball?
No, just not even a team. Just let me know the position group that you're most confident in, and then the position group that you have that has the most questions for you.
Position group, okay. I'm got to think about this on the spot here. So, I mean, me personally, and I mentioned this. I know you kind of gave me grief for it, but I'm super excited about the running back room, man. I love what I saw from Jordan Marshall. I love what I've seen on film for Justice Haynes, coming in with the offensive line that's now got a year together, and coming back for the most part. I'm really excited about the running backs, man, and seeing what we can do there.
No doubt.
If I had to say the biggest question, I mean, it's got to be, and I'm gonna group these two together. It's got to be the wide receivers, tight ends.
Okay.
I think that they've got the most questions. I think in both positions, there's room for somebody to step up, take the lead, to take that position number one mantle,
right?
Both receiver and tight end and pass catcher. But that's where I've got the most questions.
No doubt. I like that running back. By the way, I wouldn't give you grief about the room. I think the room is strong. I think I gave you grief about like who you. I forget what it was.
You gave me grief about putting on our list of people we were most excited to watch.
Oh yes,
that I included a current
Jordan Marshall on.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, I got you. But yeah, the running back. I think that room is pretty strong. I think it's solid. G Boulder also thinks the same. Shout out to Detroit Wolverine. He said, buddies, we writing that down. Maniac, write that down. I think he eating right now. That's why he off the screen. But write buddies down. We're gonna check it out.
Hey, what is buddies? What type of food is it?
Let us know what type of food that is.
Because if it's good enough, I might find my way down there that day to hang out with you.
It's a party, right? Troy said he's gonna share some foodie videos from Instagram with us. That's dope. I'm here for it. Let's do it. But okay, Maniac, the group that you are most confident in, and then the group that you have the least amount of confidence in this season.
Well, the position group I'm most confident in is the D line.
Okay,
I think that's the deepest group we have. I think it is going to be the most dangerous in the Big Ten. I don't know about the nation, but definitely in the Big Ten. Mm-hmm. And very similar to Kinetic when it comes to the biggest questions is wide receiver. Because again, that was a position where we had really zero productivity, man. And I know there's talent there. We know there's talent there now, but we have to see it. So it'll be the wide receivers for me, and D-line the best.
No doubt.
Yeah, G, come on, man. Cut it out. I got more fitteds than models, man. Come on.
Okay, but here's the real question. How many new hats are you gonna leave the spring game weekend with?
Both of y'all. I think G too. G, are you coming? G coming to the game, right?
Oh, is G gonna come and try to out hat Maniac?
Shout out to Posh. We appreciate you leaving Ohio State Pod just for a second, even to say hello. We appreciate you.
She's
Shout out to
she's
Garrison,
entertaining she's entertaining the option of entering the portal.
Go Blue.
Posh is coming to the spring game, man. She's gonna pop up on the low. She's gonna come with the hoodie.
So
She
we need all
already said last week that she was coming. Her and her husband coming.
Yep. We need all of our viewers that are going to be at the spring game to bring your best pitches for NIL to get Asian Posh Doreen to flip her fandom commit from the Buckeyes to the Wolverines.
We treating this like an OV.
Yes. Yes.
Treating this like an official visit.
Get y'all's PowerPoint presentations ready.
Thank you. Absolutely. That's what's up, man. We're gonna put her with the best. We got Pam in the Twitter sphere. I don't know if you guys know Pam, but she's a big tailgater. We're gonna definitely flip Doreen.
It's this. I don't know if you heard of this Michigan fan. She's a female. I follow her on Facebook, bro. She be all over. I even send her the link to our show. Her name is Gigi Vasquez. Yo, bro, she's always posting a picture with Desmond Underwood. She's like everywhere.
I want to say I think I know who that she is because she's in the Hellgate Facebook group that I'm in.
Yeah, she's definitely like a hardcore fan. She's gonna be at the spring game. I'm gonna see if maybe we could link up with her. Just say what up. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's about getting these connections and people that there's they well known in this industry of podcasting.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely.
She is a super fan. There you go, G. Yeah,
we need to make sure that Doreen leaves Ann Arbor with at least like a Michigan jacket. A Michigan
we got a hoodie. We don't worry, B. She leaving with a hoodie, man. That's it.
No doubt. Hey, we gonna put one on the husband too. We got hoodies for both.
Yeah, and her husband.
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
It'd be cool meeting him too because we always get to talk to Doreen, but like I know he's there, but we've never talked to him, so
absolutely.
Yeah.
That'll be dope. All right.
No, yeah.
So let me give you my position groups.
But apparently her husband doesn't like St. Patty's Day, so don't bring. He don't want nothing with St. Patty's Day.
All right.
I don't know. I'm not a big drinker either, but whatever. All right, so here we go. My position group that I'm most confident in is the linebacker group, and that is mostly because of Ernest Hausman. I'm very confident in Ernest Hausman. I think Ernest Hausman has a chance to be the best linebacker in the big this upcoming season. I know Jayshawn Barham, there's been some talk about him moving to edge, and maybe there is some sort of hybrid outside linebacker edge thing for him.
Think you're gonna be like Micah Parsons, just kind of floating in between,
right? And I have full confidence in both of those guys. I think Jayshawn by the end of the season last year was really playing a lot better than he was early in the season. So that's the group I'm most confident in. In fact, behind them, there's still some dogs. So I'm most confident in the linebacker group. And then the group, and this might shock people because it's not about the talent that's been accrued along in this group, but more so of them gelling together, which is going to be the most important thing for Michigan this year, and that's the offensive line. Got the most questions about the offensive line. I know they're super talented group. They're littered with blue chip players, but can they, come together for the common good? And protect the quarterback, number one, make holes for those running backs. If that's the case, then I see it's going to be very hard to beat Michigan because I think that defense is going to be very good. And then if they can protect the quarterback and run the football, it's a recipe for disaster for the rest of the country.
So let me ask y'all sort of an add-on to what we just did. Who do you think is a player that has not really gotten a chance to be showcased by Michigan that could break out this year? So, for example, I mean, obviously an easy pick, which I'm not going to pick him. I've heard a lot of people talking about him. I could take the easy pick here and pick our guy Micah Kalpana. I really want to see him break out. But
what about? Go ahead.
No, I don't want to take yours. So
I was gonna say Josiah Edmond.
Yep. Yeah, I think Josiah Edmond has a real good chance.
I think he's gonna have a chance to break out.
I'm gonna bring up one that you and I have talked about, Madman.
Okay.
Amarian Stewart.
Yo, listen, I will pound the table for Amarian Stewart, and this is why I know people have been sick of me talking about Amarian Stewart. Nobody talks about Amarian Stewart, by the way, except for us here on Maize Madman. But the kid's footwork was elite in high school. I know he's a smaller player, he's slight, but man, if he puts on some muscle, and not too much though, because I don't want to take away from his suddenness, because you know he's got magician type feet, and he can get some separation for sure. It's just I think the pounding of that game, you know, it's a physical brand of football in the Big Ten. You know, maybe that they're worried about that. And to be fair, I don't know what he's looking like in practice and stuff like that, which is one of the reasons. One of the people I'm going to be keeping an eye on in that spring game is Amarian Stewart. So I hope that he can, you know, get some reps in that slot, because I think he's a difference maker.
So just to recap though, so as the show, we picked Jimmy Roller, we picked Josiah Edmond, we picked Amarian Stewart to be the Maize Madman channel breakout players of the Michigan year, and honorary, because I didn't want to take the easy pick, Micah Kaipana.
Yes, sir.
Of course, Micah Kaipana of
he's honestly my number one, but because we're friends with Keoki, like it's an easy pick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
by the way, I haven't seen Keoki in a minute. We got an APB out on Keoki.
Yeah,
but he's supposed to be at the spring game. I can't wait to see Keoki, his family, man.
I'm looking forward to meeting him and his wife. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Look, we got a chance to get out of here on time this week. All right.
Yeah.
No overages, none of that. But before we do, let the people know where they can find you, what you got going on.
So you can find me. So I got 2 Instagram accounts, but this is my Michigan one, the Go Blue _Maniac _24. Follow me there for Michigan content. It's been a little slow for me, but I'm gonna start picking it up again, do some more green screens when I'm flaming Ohio State, when I'm flaming their fans. It is what it is. And also the boxing page, you know, D _Boxing Maniac. Follow me there, man. So you know, but of course, subscribe to the channel, man. And if you're going to the spring game, hit us up, man.
For sure.
No doubt. Kinetic, same for you, sir.
You can find me everywhere, every social media platform. If I'm on there, you can find me at Kinetic615. I've also got my second YouTube channel, Kinetic615 Plays, where I do my video game streams now. And then also, I just want to throw this out there because I have had people ask me to put this out there as well. For the people that have asked to donate to my GoFundMe, but they don't want to donate to GoFundMe because GoFundMe takes a portion of their donation. They want to ask me to put out my own Cash App. It's, again, just the money symbol and then Kinetic615. If you guys prefer to go that route, I've had multiple people ask me, and I keep getting the question. So just to put it out there, my Cash App is Kinetic615. If you feel more comfortable with that, then to send it into GoFundMe.
No doubt. And you know where you can find me at Maize Madman everywhere on everything. That is how you can find me. I've got my own gaming channel. We've got 12 subscribers, including my guy West Quad, Dub Q, as I call him, has subscribed to my gaming channel. 3MGGs.
I don't think he's even subscribed to mine. What's up with that, West Quad? We ain't cool.
Yeah, come on, Dub Q. Anyway, be sure to follow me everywhere at Maize Madman. Until next time, you know the slogan. Anything we got this week? It's nothing going on that I'm missing. I don't think we're missing anything.
Well, wait. The Michigan basketball team plays this week.
Thursday. We will Thursday. And if we catch that, I think a reaction show is due, depending on how that turns out. Actually, a reaction show is due no matter what the turnout is. But we'll do that. So until then, though, he said, I'm bad luck. Nah, man, look, you were there. Listen, okay, I'm so pissed off about this, Kenneth. I don't know if you were there when I was explaining this the last time.
No, what's up?
All right. And I'll be quick because I know Maniac wants to get back to the fam. I'm in Kinetics G5 league. I'm in 3 G5 leagues on Kinetics thing. The first one though is the one I'm most proud of. It's my baby. I've got Arkansas State. I've built them into this powerhouse program.
He's got some cheat code players, is what he's got.
It's
He
not
he somehow bribed DJ Lagway to come to Arkansas State.
DJ Lagway was my quarterback this year. I got him out the transfer portal, and he did work. By the way, he threw for 6,000 plus yards. Crazy. Don't ask me how. But anyway, I built this team up and we were undefeated. My nemesis in my conference, this guy who has Louisiana, who destroyed me.
Raging Cajuns.
Season, right. Destroyed me in the previous season at home, at my house, which ruined my recruiting, by the way. I had like 4 kids on a visit that week. He beat me by like 3 touchdowns. They were like, yo, we ain't coming here. All right. Destroyed my recruiting. All right. But this season, I got retribution. All right. I beat him down the first time, 70 to something. Beat him down. Then we play in the conference championship game. All right. Beat him down again. But here's the thing. What I wasn't paying enough attention to, late in the first game, he started to find something. Right. And he was completing passes, but I just chalked it up to like, I don't really care. I don't care that you know, second game, same thing. Like I beat him down, but he's starting to find something. Bro, I can't make it up. We joke in the Discord. We say, yo, wouldn't it be crazy if we played a third time? And lo and behold, week 1 of the first round of the playoff, I get this guy again. This is now third time in the season. After I've dominated him, I've beat him by a total of 50-something points to this point, right? And then this guy beats me in the playoff game, bro. I'm pissed off. I'm upset.
I feel like you might have got a little arrogant, a little cocky on your past two victories with him that you were kind of sleeping on this one. You weren't taking it serious.
Now Warwarski wants to show up. Yeah, I was pissed off. Needless to say. Anyway, that's my story. Now I gotta wait for the playoffs to end. Watch everybody else play playoff games while I sit at home. Anyway,
I've got to play him the same guy tonight or tomorrow.
He's still in the playoffs?
No. Well, no, it's in one of the other leagues where I'm playing Michigan. He plays Michigan State, and we're in the conference championship. We're in the conference championship, so I got to play that same guy.
I want.
So what I need you to do is, at some point tonight, I need you to send me your scouting report.
Right.
Like I need you to pick up the phone and give me your Connor Stallions intel.
Absolutely.
And so yeah.
All right, man. We out of here though, man. Before 9 o'clock, we did it. You know the slogan: "Stay angry, my friends."